Many of you I've probably already worked with in the room. So, who is ACC Business? I know many of you know who we are, but I want to make it clear that we are AT&T. We're the easy button of AT&T. I'm an AT&T badged employee and have been for 16 years. Just moved from one side of the house to the other. And so it's AT&T's network. It's somewhat AT&T's provisioning, but the great thing is what you get with ACC is kind of the easy button. So a little bit of information about us is we are a wholly owned subsidiary. You'll see a lot of our information on our contracts, our MSAs you'll be familiar with. We were a subsidiary established in 1998. And we kind of offer a unique side of AT&T. I really believe we are that easy button. We have our own provisioning team. We have about 300 employees on our side versus the 280,000 on AT&T side. And we make it easy on you. So we have our own front-end support, back-end support, technical sellers, our engineers, our own credit, our own contracts, and we have our own, we'll go over that slide next, but what I want to share with you is what's in it for you. Everyone wants to know why ACC. What we do differently is we offer residual commissions versus AT&T's front-end commissions. That's all you get is a one-hit wonder. What we do is the residual commissions, which our agents enjoy. Build up that residuals and enjoy them for the life of the customer. Even if the contract expires and they're paying those higher rates, you still can enjoy those residual commissions. We're a little boutique-y. We don't offer all of AT&T's products and services, but what we do well. So it's AT&T's footprint. Our 21 states is where we're located and where we're going to be the best, the strongest. We can offer services outside of our 21 state footprint. That's pretty common with an MPLS network. But our niche is going to be within our 21 state footprint. So bring your opportunities to us. We will look at and consider any services that are currently with AT&T. We'll ask you some questions on who are they, is their contract expiring with AT&T, but it's a somewhat easy approval to get. On a larger scale network, we'll just ask why. Why are they looking to change? And in many cases, they're going out to bid with all carriers. Since we are AT&T, we don't want to lose the business. We want to maintain the business.
So if I've got a 10 meg fiber circuit with AT&T, and I come to you and I want to upgrade that to a 30 meg, you'll do it?
No, we won't do that. AT&T does their own billing. And so if you look at ACC, which is one of the beauties of ACC, is we do our own billing. It's simple, accurate, easy to read. But if you were to do an upgrade, you would have to do that with the existing carrier. However, if the customer was going to install a new circuit, then I can do that for you. Then the customer would be.
That's what you meant.
Is that what you meant?
We take one circuit down and we put your circuit in.
As long as it's out of contract, can you do that?
Right, because you would still
or
have.
Or maybe it's coming up and we mutually agree to do it?
Yes.
Okay.
We would absolutely look at that, yes.
That was my question. One of my two questions. It could just be redone. We don't have to order a new circuit.
You would have to order a new circuit.
Oh, we would have to order a new circuit.
You would have to,
My question also is, you were saying about fiber. Are these the FPVs with the PRIs and the SIP trunks?
We are going to cover that. ACC Business is currently in controlled introduction for the IP Flex product, which is the integrated circuit that AT&T offers. We are taking orders as we speak. We waited a bit to have AT&T sort of kind of get through that process. It has been a bumpy road when it first rolled out. So now ACC is ready to go, taking on orders. I believe by June or July it will be in general availability. We're taking them on slowly. In fact, there's someone in the room here today that will be submitting their first IP Flex order tomorrow, right, Barry? So, we are doing it. We want to impress, so we are taking them on slowly just to make sure that we don't disappoint. So it is the same promotions that AT&T offers that you're all familiar with, and it's with our limited product set. But everything you're familiar with is the FBB, what territory is it, how many concurrent call paths, what speed. Those are all what you're probably used to seeing.
Perfect.
Yep.
I need your cards.
You got it. I have it right here. So, any other questions?
Do you guys also like AT&T's doing like the 2 months free on a large MPLS network?
We do, and I included that in there. And so yes, we'll do MPLS just like AT&T. We have the same promo. It's a AVPN promo, slightly different platform, more feature-rich MPLS platform. We do the 120 meg for $500 you've probably seen as well as 1 or 2 free months. I always offer that. I always offer my promotional floors, and you choose when or when you don't want to use it, because that of course does affect your commissions. Yes. SIP handoff on an IP flex circuit. We do. We are doing SIP trunking and PRI handoff in controlled introduction as we speak, and we're in testing it over analog handoff right now, so it's not fully baked, and we're also doing SIP or PRI handoff over an AVPN network. Yes. Yes.
Apples to apples. How is your pricing against AT&T?
We offer the same promos that AT&T offers. I do find that when I say they're the same, I often get, oh, AT&T is higher. Perhaps they don't offer their floors on every opportunity. I always do, and you can always sell it for higher than our promotional floors, always. So maybe that's the discrepancy, but either typically you'll see the same verbiage, the same promotions. When AT&T rolls out a new promotion, we're a few days behind just to roll it into our systems, but it is the same.
So we're the same or lower?
Yeah, beauty. And we're easy to do business with.
And you're selling AT&T service on AT&T platforms?
As an AT&T employee, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, it is a different bill. It says ACC, but you see a lot of information. In fact, the bottom of our bill, which is it's a 2-page for just an internet contract, you'll see ACC is a wholly owned subsidiary of AT&T. It explains that to you. My email address is at att.com. That's further proof to your customers. Sometimes it's who are they, but we only do the channel, and we don't have anyone on our team that competes with you. That's all we do. Our customers are you. So, yes. Yes.
So can you speak to the SLA on the FBB that it doesn't have one? So
Right.
Are all of your products SLA, or are you guys going to do
The FBB is the only product that we offer today that does not have an SLA.
And you're saying you're incorporating that into your product line?
The FBB? Yes. Yes, yes, we do. And I'm quoting it.
Also sell the 650 with channels?
You can sell that 650 with channels, and each channel is $15.40 per channel, and that will come with an SLA, yes. A minimum of 6.
What are the companies who offer?
A maximum would be 23 per PRI card, but you could do many more if the customer has additional PRI cards.
Can you order 46 each channel?
Yes.
Can you order 46 trunks?
Yes. Yes.
So you just price them at $15?
And 40 cents
And they
per
can all
channel.
hook together, no nonsense?
Yeah, yes, as long as the phone system is capable of hunting, sure. Yes.
I know you have, we discussed earlier, some of the limitations internationally on
Yes.
your Layer 2 network.
Yes.
And MPLS. Can you offer international internet, or is that also a limitation?
That is a limitation. Again, we don't do everything AT&T does. Where our international will be on MPLS networks only. Yes.
Kristie, the MIS circuit has an SLA, but the IP Flex doesn't, correct?
The IP Flex can, but the FBB IP Flex does not.
I thought
Correct.
you could pay up and get it.
Yeah, that's a different product. It's not
Yep.
FPV.
Yep. FBB is just a cookie cutter. It's a great leader item. The pricing is incredible, as low as $525 for a 10 meg with concurrent call paths. So, yes, but don't tell anybody that.
You can sell the FPV product
Yes.
under ACC?
Yes, you can.
Residual versus the one-
Yes, you can. And addition to the residual, we do an upfront of 30% of the MRC. Gives you a little bit upfront. Yes.
Okay, Kristie, sometimes I see that AT&T will do like ICB or special pricing. Does ACC offer that?
We do. ACC has ICB pricing as well. Bring in your large opportunities, and we're happy to send it. The minimum to send something to ICB is $5,000, which answers your question, Cynthia. I know, she said no. So yes, if you come with a single circuit and you can't sell 650, I can't send that to ICB. Our promotional pricing is often the lowest price, But when you get in those larger deals with, 100 sites or more, sometimes it does come out better.
What's the plan on UVerse?
We're not probably ever going to do UVerse. We're
Even
going to
though
be,
other carriers are selling resale UVerse?
yes.
Okay.
I doubt that we will ever go that way.
Okay.
We're going up market and not down market. And with the rollout of IP Flex, that is what our focus is going to be, is larger bandwidths, larger opportunities. We're going to be rolling out here soon a point-to-point layer 2, 10 gig. It's called AT&T Dedicated Ethernet. So that's coming out. Haven't seen pricing on that, but that's on its way. And we're also starting to
Can you
quote.
guess what the price would be? Something
Nope.
like? No.
No.
Sorry,
No.
repeat that last part about the 10.
We're coming out with a new product probably at the late summer that's a 10 gig point-to-point. Right now we're somewhat limited to 1 gig, although I'm finding that as long as the switch is capable of handling 10 gig, we're starting to price that. I've had 1 out of, say, 5 that actually qualified for that. It is a bit pricey. Until AT&T comes out with a promotion, then it's not as competitive yet. So hopefully when they roll out the product, the promotion comes with it. Yes?
Provisioning timeframes for FBB or use, if they're still 90, 120 days?
I don't find that our provisioning is, on the FBB, it will absolutely be. Right now in controlled introduction, we're in controlled introduction because we realize it's new to us. Once we hand it off to AT&T, the provisioning goes the same. So I would estimate about 120 days plus, just because the product is new. General availability, they should go much quicker. We're just getting experience with it now.
Well, where?
Yeah.
Because P10 data centers go pretty fast now.
Yeah.
I was just gonna point out that they
Yep.
install like in 60 days.
Our regular Ethernet circuits install very, very, very quickly.
Just install one in Arambula in less than 60
Yeah.
days.
Sometimes they're installed sooner than the customer would like them. But I'm still quoting 60 to 90 days, but honestly, many of them come in around 45 to 60 days. I just don't know until the order starts moving. So I'm still quoting that longer interval,
Are
just
we safe
because.
to say that, that your paperwork is going to be properly processed without hitches?
Our paperwork, if you haven't seen it, is very, very simple. And I think a question came up.
That's what the point is?
Yes.
Over a direct AT&T?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It is actually a pricing schedule that tells you what the speed is and what the cost for the circuit is. Other than, unlike AT&T, they give you an entire schedule with discounts on it, and you really never know what the cost of the circuit is. I know it's easy to add to that contract, but ours you will actually see 10 megs, and here's what your cost is, and here's the install that's waived. Yes?
If you choose the router, can you guys provide a Cisco router versus an Adtran? With AT&T FBB promo, you get this crappy router, right?
Yeah.
It's not a Cisco router.
Yep.
They used to deliver a Cisco router with the FBB promo, and they don't anymore.
Yep.
So they deliver this crappy Adtran, and it's really cheapo. And so how do we get the Cisco router with your product, or does it come, what kind of routers are you guys?
You know, that isn't something that we include in our order, and it's up to the provisioner that actually chooses the router.
I understand, like with AT&T, you have to do it for 100 megs to get a Cisco router. And some
Like-
of these guys want Cisco routers because they're coming off of Earthlink Metro E's or
Mhm,
whatever. They're using Cisco out.
I'll
Maybe
make
the owner could request it.
perhaps,
Requesting it
and
it
they.
doesn't work.
Yes, I haven't heard that. We typically send Cisco routers, but I wasn't aware that they were doing Adtran with FBB, so let me question that.
That's a huge
Yeah.
difference they're doing
Yes,
now.
yes.
If I sell a ACC MIS circuit to replace an AT&T MIS
Yes.
circuit,
Mhm.
can I move the IP addresses?
I do know that during the test and turnout, that is the first question that the tester asks, are you moving IP addresses? So we don't want to make a habit of moving services from AT&T to ACC because we're kind of, but it happens, right? The customer may not be happy with AT&T, and we want to retain that business under our, yes. Anything else? Yes.
Forgive me if I missed this earlier, but how is an ACC's at-loss array different from AT&T? About regulations that allow them what happens?
We actually have the same regulations, but what we do is our look and feel is like a small company, and you'll see that in our contracts. Our MSAs are different. Actually, they're several pages shorter, more of a condensed version, but we do operate under them. It's just we have additional layers of support. It's quite like having a project manager on even just a single circuit order. And then we have a really easy way of assigning a project manager, a true one, on anything 5 or more. So that to us is an important project, and we assign it right away and provide a spreadsheet with updates on each circuit for each location. And we are the easy part of AT&T. Honestly, we have our own maintenance group and our own customer care group with no IVRs. A live person actually answers the phone. That kind of blew me away coming from where I am. So you're not on hold, and what's crazy is you can actually just email them simply and get a response. Yes?
I understand the advantages, and I know the advantage for all of us,
Yes.
residual, easier to deal with, better billing for the customer. I'm curious, why does AT&T want ACC to exist?
We have been in the channel for many years, and when SBC bought AT&T, our channel was part of legacy AT&T at some point, and we just kept doing what we're doing. We're lean and profitable, and AT&T leaves us alone and lets us do what we do. We hit our numbers.
Like a fiber company in Miami that AT&T bought.
It was, before the acquisition, and
They acquired a big
right.
fiber company down in Miami.
And we just keep doing what we're doing, and we do it well.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what they acquired.
Yep. Uh-oh.
They migrate.
Why would AT&T want Cricket?
He changed his slot back.
Yeah, what happened?
It went to sleep.
Oh, let's wake it up.
They can get us a lot of help.
But they would never say that's why they have it.
So you kind of went over probably every single
I think we did because you had all the questions, and I don't want to be repetitive, and I know this is taking longer. So some of the services we talked about is MPLS. MIS, our Managed Internet Service, DIA as most of you call it, that's our bread and butter. That's what we do every day. And IP Flex is probably going to take that over. Really, once we get going on that, that'll probably be our #1 product. MPLS AVPN is our new robust. The pricing, you'll see a snapshot of some pricing here, and it actually just went down a couple of days ago. And AT&T switched to Ethernet. That's our dedicated layer 2. I'm going to skip through this just in.
Can you go back to the
Sure.
slide where it says international sites?
Yep. Is that where
Is
you're?
that a no?
Yeah, MPLS.
Only?
Yep. Yep. No MIS, no point-to-point. But where we're big now, there's a snapshot of some pricing with our promotion. You asked about our 2 free months. This we can layer on here, as well as 120 meg for $500 on our promotion, as long as it's in region and footprint.
What is it, like $13 per call pass?
It's $15.40, but on MPLS, yes, it's $13. Yep. So you know our promotions.
Where you can put a PRI and data together?
What do we have? That would be our IP Flex product, our integrated, and you can do that either on AVPN, MPLS, or on a regular managed internet connection. Yes.
Well, in footprint, it was a little bit confusing.
Yes.
What it had on the previous slide.
Okay.
In footprint is like, I know you guys have what, like a tier.
21 state footprint. Going
okay,
back to that map,
Okay.
That was, we actually just started on this new promotion, considering locations that are out of footprint, that are lit, fiber lit buildings, that we're pricing them in footprint. So even more competitive than we have been. When I do my qualifications, I always check for that. And so to get an out of footprint location priced as in footprint, pretty awesome. 10 megs up to 100 megs, I believe is what it is on here. So 2 free months we talked about. The 120 meg for $500, of course that's in footprint as well. Just some more information about the AVPN Express. That's the promotion that we lead with for our MPLS network. Different reporting methods. We talked about, our tools that we can use, view analysis, live, real time, open up trouble tickets, monitor trouble tickets. All of that we do as well. And I really want to talk about our layer 2 ASE, AT&T switched Ethernet point-to-point. It was always held to intra-LATA, and now we're allowed to cross LATA boundaries, and the pricing is phenomenal. 5 meg, Barry sold some of these. 5 meg start at $400 per leg. So if your customers are looking at layer 2, an awesome product. As long as it's within our 21 state footprint, this pricing is amazing. Less than MPLS.
Import any number over, right?
Of course.
It's just on exchanges like everybody else does.
No. Yes.
Sorry, on your SIP, can you pull it?
or is it?
It's
individual?
not. It would be SIP trunks per circuit.
Okay.
I don't know if that will change, but it's per circuit, yeah. And
But Fielding SIP Trunks International.
don't know about that. Let me check on that. SIP trunks internationally. Let me check
In
on
other
that.
words, US numbers.
I don't think that that is an option, but I would have to get back to you on that.
I have to ask when you call the configurations in the same pipe, so take like 20 PRI channels or 2 analog channels.
No. So, for example, if you had, say, a fax line that you wanted to add to an IP flex, is that what you're thinking?
Break off a channel.
I don't recommend that because of our call compression. We'll compress the call and that fax call won't go through. I typically would say leave them off. Yeah.
So there's not a channel bank, it's a PRI, it's a PRI handoff.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go through the PBX.
Yep.
On an analog part.
Right.
Yep. Yep. So more information on our AT&T switched Ethernet and why we do it. That is a hot product, primarily due to the pricing. It installs well, it's quickly. Here's an example of a customer that we did. This is when we first rolled it out in 2013, that we closed one. That wasn't yours, Barry. We should have done a slide with yours. But that's what we're doing. We talk about not getting, losing on price. Our promotional pricing should be very competitive, but bring us your opportunities if we need to. If it's large enough, let's send that to ICB. I hate to walk away from business. And then we touched on it just because the questions came up. I wanted to be excited about that, the controlled introduction for IP Flex. Most people know what AT&T does, and we are really thrilled to have this opportunity. Dan tells me that I'm going to be very, very busy in the next.
What that means is you no longer have to sell an AT&T FBB, which is a 10 meg Metro Ethernet with a PRI on top for $587.50. You can get it from ACC Business. You can get their 20 meg with a PRI on top for $869. The 50 meg is, fiber with PRI for $1088, and then $1451 for 100 meg flavor. If I have the option of going with AT&T and basically shooting myself in the face with a gun, I'd rather I'll do this all day long. Time to go with AT&T because the support is just head and shoulders above what you're going to get at AT&T Direct.
Dan, the price one you show now is the non-SLA product?
It is a non-SLA product, however, it does match that offering, which if you've quoted like all the other CLECs,
But we
it
can
annihilates
sell it
everybody.
a little more expensive with the SLA product.
Yes, you can basically take their 649 10 meg and then layer SIP trunks or PRI channels on top, and then you pay per channel. But then you get the SLA.
Yep, you can do it either way. We're happy to do that either way. So we're thrilled to be offering IP Flex. Some of this we already covered, multiple calls. We'll have our analog probably very shortly. SIP trunking, of course, is one of the options that we're rolling out as we speak. And I wanted to share the information. My sales manager, she's from Indiana. We all work at our remote offices. She's actually in California and I'm out here today, but that's your contact information. Email is fabulous because I copy and paste, qualify. I'm very responsive. If you don't get a response from me that day, then please send me a reminder. And because I believe that I need to get the information to you, I typically do not log off without responding to everybody. I do, yes.
You can do fax to email?
We don't.
Don't do fax to email?
No.
Okay.
No.
And you won't do a POTS line either, right?
We do not. We're primarily T1s and above.
So we have to
we
get our
don't-
POTS line from elsewhere
Yes.
if we need
Yes.
POTS.
And that is a managed product. The IP Flex is managed, so we do require a POTS line to manage that router, to ping that router.
The AT&T Direct is similar. They have different channels for their pods
Yeah.
as well. It's not
Yeah,
like
it's not pretty solution there, but they just refer you to someone else.
Bill, so you might as well put
It's-
it with an access point BCN merge.
Yep.
And get paid on it. Then
Yep.
They still get a separate bill.
Yep,
And even get humors at the same time.
you could as a backup. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
Mr. Carter.
Yes. Yes.
Another question, just comment from back here. I work with ACC sometimes. Whenever a customer wants AT&T, they get it installed faster than direct AT&T. The support is obviously direct. When you pick up the phone, it's directing, not 40 minutes of wait just to get somebody to forward you off. You're speaking direct to the AT&T engineering team within 2 minutes.
Mhm.
web. These guys are great, and obviously you're making about double across a 3-year term, let alone let's say for 5 or 6 years. I mean, it's a no-brainer now that they offer the voice.
Yep.
No reason not to sell this stuff.
Yeah. And that's a testimony because we've done a lot of business. So thank you for that.
And I'm sorry, I stepped out a couple of times. If the customer needs technical support, AT&T or ACC?
You would actually open the ticket up with ACC. So think of us as being and then we open that ticket remotely through AT&T. We manage and monitor that ticket through completion. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes, that takes a huge time off of you. And I know because I've been on hold on behalf of customers in my previous life. Yes, that's huge. And you can even open a ticket, either express ticketing through an email, and that actually gives a head start. And a lot of our customers will open express ticketing. I have an email link I can share with you, and then send that ticket number to our team via email, and you get a response. So you're sleeping, and they're still working your ticket.
And for simplicity, every employee is an AT&T employee. So your customer isn't being into this company or anything you're speaking with.
They are not. We actually do have a lot of contracted employees, but they're the support people. So we do.
Engineers and everybody here.
Yes, correct. Yeah, maintenance would be, we hand off the order to an internet specialist through AT&T, which would be a badged employee. But a lot of the people on our team are contractors.
The repair is not contracted.
Which isn't a bad thing
No.
necessarily.
You know what? I find that it's not because they work really hard and they want to keep their contract. So I actually think it's a great thing because there's no tenure, there's nothing. They are fantastic. We have a great group of people. Anything?
Did you touch on the EMIS pricing, the internet, 10 meg internet, like 10 meg for $649?
We didn't touch on that, but yes, our internet pricing for a managed, so we include the managed router, $649 for a 10 meg, 20 meg, $749, or $650, $749 for a 20 meg. The pricing's phenomenal. Gig, about $4,000. I'm sorry?
How much to put a PRI on top?
Well, it depends on the speed. We have promotions that will do that. If you want SLAs, then we're adding $15.40 per concurrent call path on top of our managed internet or DIA.
But how much for managed internet PRI?
For what speed and how many channels?
10, 20 meg.
A 10 meg.
20 meg, 6 active channels, 20 gigs.
Let me get that for you. Hold on. I think it's
Plus $15.40.
unless you do the FBB promo and you're at like $860 something.
But then you
Yeah.
pay more taxes, correct?
You know, I never quote the taxes. I don't know. It all depends.
Don't you
Their
pay
city,
like
estate.
5 U-Pools and PICs and FCC charges? Or something?
You would pay that, of course, with a PRI handoff. Sure.
That's FBB.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, sure. You would. Yeah, if there's 23 channels.
FBB, if you still have to pay like $100 in equals and surcharges, whereas with the IP Flex, there are surcharges included in that channel price?
I actually haven't seen one of our new bills yet. The customers that are. That's a huge.
That would make it more expensive to do FBB, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're just going to do data, you might as well
But,
do
if you don't use the FBB promo,
Flex?
does it include the router?
managed.
Yeah, no, she has an option to do router and non-router. So there's $650, you could do it for $601.
601 without a router, without call paths. All of our IP flexes, our integrated circuits will be managed unless it's over AVPN.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you sell SIP trunks on top of those?
Do we sell SIP trunks? We do not.
Handoff.
We do a SIP handoff as a part of the IP flex, but just as standalone SIP trunks, no. You can use a third-party SIP provider on any of our internet circuits.